I'm Yaw Duodu Boakye, a member of Group 13, and we are 3 members presenting on this code. And with our program, we are to develop a train seat booking system. And this train seat booking system, it contains seats from 1 to 20, which allows the users or trainers to input the seat number they want to book. And immediately they input the seat number they want to book, it will mark those seats as taken, or it will mark them as already taken, so no one can book those seats again. So therefore, it prevents double booking. So that is for our program. So it's train seat booking system. So with my portion of the explanation, I am to explain blocks of code from line 11 to line 33. So I proceed to the explanation. So with line 11, this is where we imported the scanner class. So we imported a scanner class from the java.util package. So this scanner class, it helps us to take input from the user. So without the scanner class, we cannot take input in our program. So with line 14, which says public class main. So with this public class main, we are trying to define the main class. So this public is an access modifier. It's an access modifier because it is accessible anywhere in our code. Once we use this code, it's accessible in anywhere in our code. And this main is just the name of our file. So as you can see here, main.java. So the main is the name of our file, or the main.java is the name of our file, but we cannot bring the .java here. So we just have to bring the main here. So public class main. So anytime we are programming with Java and we input public class, this name here should match the file name. That's why we use public class main. And with line 15, public static void main, parenthesis string, square brackets, args parenthesis. So the args also known as the argument. And with this code is the main method, and this is where Java starts its execution. So anything we enter below this code will be executed. So this actually where Java starts its execution. So as you can see, there's a straight line up to here. So it will execute any block of code under this line. Yes. So in line 18, because we want to use an array for the seats, we created an array of 20 Boolean values. Yes. We created an array of 20 Boolean values, and we assigned it to a variable called seat. So we used an array because it will just require us to create a single variable and to assign it to 20 Boolean values. So an array is much simple for such conditions. So let's say maybe in the future, if the programmer wants to change the number of seats to maybe, let's say, 50 seats, the programmer will just come here, he will take the 20 off and he will input 50. That's all. He has modified it, and that's all for it. Yeah, so with the array, it's much scalable. You can easily modify it. But if we didn't use array, we have to declare 20 separate variables, 20 separate Boolean variables. Yes, but because we use an array, we will just need a single variable, and we will assign it to 20 Boolean values. Yes, so that's the reason why we chose array. So it's much convenient than using a normal variable. And in line 20, we created a scanner object. Since we have imported the scanner class, we can now create a scanner object. So the SC is the name of our scanner object. scanner object, and this scanner is a scanner class. So we are calling the scanner class, and we are creating the scanner object, and this code from the new to the system in, this is where it allows the user to input, or it receives input from the keyboard. So we have imported a scanner object. It's like we have created a platform. So from now onwards, we can just call a variable, and we will just call the scanner object again to take input from the user. So with line 24, we are trying to print a prompt message to the console. So this prompt message here is like a title, title of our program, or a brief description of our program. So it says train seat booking program. So this gives a brief description of our program, or what our program intends to do. So this will print. This is our first print statement to our console. So this will be printed to our console. Immediately we run our program. And here we are now creating an infinite while loop. So this is where this code tells Java that the condition for the while loop is anytime satisfied. So it will keep running until we manually break the program. So if we don't manually break the program will continue running. It will keep on running and running until we manually do it to break the program. So that's the reason for the while loop, or the infinite while loop. So we will discover something here. So with line 30, we are printing another prompt message. So you want to take the seat number from the user. We are asking the user to input. So here is it. Enter the seat number you want to book from 1 to 20, or 0 to exist. So here you're asking the user to input the seat number he or she want to book. Yes, from 1 to 20. So this is the range for the seat. This is the range for the seat. So if the user enters 1, it will tell the user seat 1 has been booked. So once seat 1 is booked, any other user cannot book seat 1 again. If someone tries booking that seat, it will tell the user seat 1 is booked, or is not available. Yes. And the reason behind the 0 to exit is that because we want our while loop to break, immediately the user types 0, this infinite while loop will break. Yeah, so we have embedded the break in the 0. We've embedded the break in the 0. So immediately the user types 0 as input for this prompt, the infinite while loop will break. But if the user keep on entering integers within this range, the program will keeps it will keep running, or it will keep looping. But immediately the user inputs 0, it will break the program, or it will exit the program automatically. Yes. So with line 33, which is the last line of my explanation, we created a data type called int, or integer, to accept input from the user and assign it to a variable called seat number. So here is where we are taking input. So we will first display this prompt message to the user, and we will do what? You will take input from the user on this line. So we didn't use print ln or print line because we want the user to input the seat number right after this message. So immediately the prompt message comes, the user will input his seat number he wants to book here, just here, right after this message. But if we have done it ln, it will move to the next line, and the user will input the seat number below the prompt message. So that's why we chose to use the print. Yes. So this brings us to the end of my explanation of my portion. Thank you.
Franklyn, Mensah, Ablorh, and I'm here to present on a book seat tracking system. And I'll be continuing from where my other colleague ended. So I'm a group 30 member. So in this code, I'll be continuing from this place. So int seat number is equal to scanner.next int. This allows user to input integers and also assigns to a variable called seat number. If seat number is equal to 0, then we tell the user or the system prints out editing book, because in our code we said enter the seat number you want, which is between 1 to 20, or we should press 0 to exit the system. So if the user clicks on 0, that means we are exiting the system. In this code, we are trying to check the range or the seat number and user, or a seat number the user input, if it's between the range of 1 to 20. So if seat number is less than 1 and seat number is greater than 20, then the system should print out seat not available, because those numbers the user inputs are not in this range between 1 to 20. So we tell the user seat not available. Else if seat seat number minus 1, the system should print out seat plus seat number the user typed in the int or in this variable that seat number is already booked. That's when a seat number has been booked. Else if it hasn't been booked, then we should tell the user that the seat plus the number the user typed is booked. The number the user type is available, sorry. So the system prints out the seat plus the number. So in case it's seat 1, the system types seat 1 is available, or seat 1 was able to be booked. So I'll be ending here. My other colleague will continue.
My name is Mohammed Tijani, BIT Group A. We are 3 in a group and I'm continuing from line 22. System.out.print seat plus seat number plus is already booked. This shows that the seat is already booked and cannot be booked again. Else statement. When all the check pass, this block runs. Line 24, seat number 1 equal to true. The number 1 is set in the array to be true, which means that the seat is already booked and not available for users to book. Line 25, system.out.print seat plus seat number plus book success. This displays the output of the successful of the program, which shows that the seat is booked successfully. And the two last curly brackets closes all the program. Is like a house without a front door and a back door, which all must be closed successfully.
Okay. Hi everyone, I'm Solomon Ankrah, and now I'll be explaining how the program collects the user's input based on the menu Alfred just showed us. After the menu is printed, we use system.print to ask the user for the quantities of each item they want to buy. For example, it says enter quantity of milk. The scanner reads that number and stores it to be quantity 1. The step is repeated for each item: sneakers, laptop, and apple. Using separate int variables like quantity 2, 3, and 4. The input is read using the next int method from the scanner, which lets the program capture how many units the user wants for each product. This part is important because It personalizes the bill for every user based on their shopping choice. In real life, it's like when you tell the cashier how many pieces of each product you want. This, so it's the same logic here. Now that we have calculated all the quantities, I'll hand it over to my material Ablorh, who will explain how we use this data to calculate the total cost and apply discounts. So I'm just going to show that I finished the code, even though I was just meant to explain part of it. So here is me running the code. So Ablorh will explain further, but this is him and just running the code. Okay, so here the code runs. As you can see, I added a little symbol to it. I'm just moving around the code. Thank you very much. So I'll hand it over, then I will continue from here. Thank you.
The first part of our Java program, a simple billing system that mimics a mini Walmart checkout process. Yeah. So we started by importing Java util scanner, so we can allow the user to input from the keyboard. Yeah. Then inside our main method, we created a scanner object named SE, so that it can handle the user inputs throughout the code. Next up, we define the items available in our virtual store. We use 4 strings variables. That's item 1, 2, 3, and 4. Yeah. For items like milk, sneaker, laptop, and apple. Yeah. For each of these items, we assign a double variable for their prices. Example, price 1 is 2.5, price 2 is 5.0, and so on. Yeah, so after setting up the item names and their respective prices, we created a simple menu using system out the print line. That is, each line shows the item name and prices. This menu is what the user sees before making any selections. Yeah. This first part of the code basically sets up the product list and prepares the user for interaction. It's like walking through a store and seeing all the items and prices being displayed before you. That's it for my section, but before I go, I would like to run the code and we see how it works. So yeah. Yeah, so yeah, that's it. This is the code. I think yeah, it ran perfectly. So yeah, thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Adjei Nyampong. I am to explain the last part of our code today, how to calculate for the bill and then apply a discount if needed. So we compute the total by multiplying each item by its price and then adding them together, which will look like this as we handle the discount logic. The program checks if the total is greater than or equal to 50, and if it is, a $10 discount is applied, which is done using the simple line. Yeah, that's the final amount to pay is then calculated. It is calculated as final amount is equal to this, as it is here. Finally, we print everything out using the system total, the discounts, and the final amount the customer has to pay. This gives a clear and complete receipt. It's like the ones you get in a real store. Please, this wraps up our full billing system project in Java.